Well, thus far, I think the conference is going extremely well. We had our pre-conference event yesterday that was attended by more than 100 customers, and they seem to really enjoy that. And in addition, when I went in this morning for Andrew Smith's kickoff, it was absolutely packed in there. So it looks like we have good attendance, especially year over year. Probably some of the hottest topics in the industry at the moment is looking at the mega trends and the real bandwidth drivers. I would say that our service providers, customers are suggesting that the overwhelming majority of traffic becoming video is something that they're looking to address. Another interesting one is cloud-based services. There's been so much hype, sort of not necessarily in the transport domain, but just generally in the service provider community about the cloud. And service providers are looking on how they can exploit cloud-based services as a means of incremental revenue, but at the same time, if what they suggest, for example, 80% of all software will be available as a cloud-based services in less than 2 years, how are they going to be able to address that in terms of their core network and be able to exploit that? I think the last thing I would say from a transport perspective is we're sort of in a once-in-a-decade transition from 10 gig, predominantly optimized, and transitioning to 100 gig. And there's a lot of interest and excitement about how do we get that into our network, and once we've got those very large pipes to fill, how are we going to efficiently network it so that we really fully exploit and leverage the advantage of those 100 gig wavelengths. I think they're embracing the 100 gig optical reboot because up until now we've been predominantly optimized around 10 gig wavelengths. Even after 6 years of availability in the marketplace, 40 gig never really seized or really took off in the marketplace. There's a couple of reasons for that. There's been some false starts, some field retrofits, some non-standard componentry, various different modulation schemes, so it never really took off. And I think what happens is that customers are looking now to jump to 100 gig as a means of really trying to get ahead of that bandwidth curve so that they can control their costs as they start to struggle to see how revenue is not really offsetting their underlying costs for fulfillment of that bandwidth demand.